Griffith Sweets, the makers of Cool Mints, present the new youth show, Under 21.
In presenting this, the first edition of Under 21, Griffith Sweets, the makers of Cool Mints, feel that here is a program that will prove of benefit to young and old alike. One that will appeal to you, no matter what walk of life you follow. So it is too with Cool Mints, the friendly sweets of universal appeal. Once you've tasted Cool Mints, you'll agree that here's a sweet with that certain something to please everybody. The secret, of course, is in the perfect blending of nougat and peppermint. Crisp and crunchy enough to appeal to young folk, tangy enough for the more mature palate. Buy Cool Mints anywhere in the friendly green and white packet, 4p. The family tins, 1 and 6. That's right, have a Cool Mint. It's over now to your compere, John Weaving.
Thank you and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We proudly bring you the first edition of Under 21.
The first love is always as sweet as love. The first kiss is the best. The whole wide world is an open book. When with you are blessed. The nights are filled with your golden dreams. The days with your laughter and fun. And life is a wonderful ride when you're under 21.
We are so young in heart, so please be kind. We know that youth so eager can be so blind. Be still, be patient. We hope that you will find sweet memories that this tune will bring to mind.
Has she got naughty eyes?
Sure she has a loving way.
That certain party. You know the one I mean.
Sure I know the one you mean.
That certain party of mine. Naughty eyes,
Turn up nose,
rosy cheeks,
pretty clothes.
what a smarty. Has she got loving ways?
Sure she has a loving way. That certain party of mine. You know that little so-and-so on what you call a street.
Right next door to, I forgot his name.
Too bad. Since we met, I don't know if I'm on my head or feet.
But anyway, you love her just the same.
Has she got you know what?
Sure I have got you know what.
That certain party. Has she got, I forgot,
Yes, I have got, you forgot.
that certain party of mine. You know what? This and that.
And quite a lot.
Not a smarty. Has she got everything?
Sure I have got everything.
That certain,
That's certain,
that certain,
that's certain,
that certain party of mine.
Under 21ers Tony Lamond and Kevin Taylor got together then with a hit tune of the 20s, That Certain Party. Winsome is as winsome does. Yes, it is in fact winsome Cupsh, seeing things.
afraid of snakes or toads or bugs or worms or mice. And things that girls are scared of, I think are awful nice. I'm pretty brave, I guess. And yet, I hate to go to bed. For when I'm tucked up warm and snug, and when my prayers are said, Mother tells me happy dreams and takes away the light and leaves me lying all alone and seeing things at night. Sometimes they're in the corner. Sometimes they're by the door. Sometimes they're all standing in the middle of the floor. Sometimes they're sitting down. Sometimes they're walking round so softly and so creepy, like they never made a sound. Sometimes they're as black as ink. Other times they're white, but the colour makes no difference when you're seeing things at night. Once when I licked a fella that just moved on our street, and Father sent me up to bed without a thing to eat. I woke up in the dark and saw things standing in a row, looking at me cross-eyed and pointing at me so. Oh my, I was so scared that night, I never slept a wink. It's almost always when I'm bad that I see things at night. Lucky thing I ain't a girl. I'd be scared to death. Being a boy, I ducked me head and hold me breath. And I am oh so sorry that I'm a naughty boy. And then I promised to be better and say me prayers again. Now Grandma tells me that's the only way to make it right when a fella has been wicked and sees things at night. And so another naughty boy that coaxed me into sin, I tried to squash the tender voice that urges me within. And when it's pie for supper, or cake is big and nice, I want to, but I dare not. Pass my plate for them to wipe. No, I'd rather let salvation fight me slowly out of sight than I should keep a living on and seeing the things at night.
Thank you very much, Winsome Cup. I suppose with a few moments of sanity that are granted to us, we who are under 21 are frank enough to realize that it is youth that represents the world of the future, and it is age and experience that's given us a world in which we can build a future. And so it is that in all humility, we will bring to the microphone each week, to the under 21 microphone, a personality who we feel has a message for you. Tonight we take great pleasure in introducing Australia's tennis champion, Davis Cup player, Frank Sedgman.
Well, fellows, when I was asked to do this job, I refused at first. It sounded a little like preaching, and I'm no good at that. Then, when I look back on what success I've had in the field of sport, I found that certain patterns of behaviour brought success and others failure. All I can do is to pass that knowledge on to you. There must be something to it, for it's the same in all fields, inside and outside of sports, and in all countries I've visited. First, a man who can't get along with other fellows simply can't get along in the world at all. There are exceptions to this. There are some fellows so ruthless and go ahead, no matter who they hurt, they seem to make a lot of progress. But they win at such a cost, it isn't worth it. So first, you've got to be able to see the other fellow's point of view. Next thing I've proved is that nearly everyone has much more ability than they ever use. That may sound strange, but it's true. I've found that runners, footballers, cricketers, fellows outside of sport nearly always have much more in them than they think. They just don't try enough. They give up striving at a certain point and never get any better. Gives his best and throws in that extra reserve which everyone has, and really tries hard and still harder, then is a champion in the making. I've never met anyone who wasn't surprised at how much improvement he could effect by really getting down to the job. Now here's one thing I've learned. When you smack up against what seems the end of the world, well, just relax. It'll work out. Here's another thing which always seems to lead to failure. Never get to the position when you think you can't learn from anyone. You can. And here's one thing which I can illustrate from my own sporting experience. It is this. Don't get the slightest bit downhearted by failure. Failure might be the very thing needed to teach you to correct some weakness. When Colin Long and I played in the Australian Doubles Championships in January in '47, we held 3 match points against Quiston Bromwich. And when we lost that match, it was agreed that it cost me a trip overseas with the Davis Cup team. That looked like a heavy defeat, but I got my overseas trip. I've just come back. So don't let an odd failure worry you. I think the game which gave me the greatest fighting thrill to date was when I held match points against Ted Schroeder in the last Wimbledon singles series. Went on to win the world singles title, but I enjoyed it because it brought the best out of me. I learned a lot from that match. We all learn from defeat. So fellows, don't always expect to win. There's as much fun and as many lessons to be learned from losing as from winning. As someone once said, it isn't if you win or lose, but how you play the game.
Thank you, Frank Sageman. Please accept our sincere gratitude for your appearance in Under 21. Right now, I'd like to break into song, and here's one of my favorite ballads, and I hope yours, The Farmer's Pride. Maybe you'd like to hear the tale of how I met with Molly. Why, it were up at Stratford Sale when I was young and Johnny. She looked so fine-eyed that I'll swear with ribbons all adorning. I fell in love with her, right there. And my pretty, the best of all I know. I never spoke an angry word, I know she loves me so. Not can with her compare, I'll always bless the lucky day I went to Stratford Fair. I should like her, and all the years I've had her, sure I've never had to strike her. If she her temper ever shows to strike her would be risky, I'd turn her out a day or so. She'd come up fine and frisky, my pretty, the best of all I know. With eyes so bright and steps so light, I know that nothing ever shines. I'll always bless the lucky day that Molly caught my eye. You'd like to see her? Well, you shall. 'Tis but a step or two. We'll drink her health in rich brown ale, the best of Warwick is my cottage remedy. My orchard stay near. What's that you say? Where's Mrs.? Why, there ain't no Mrs. See my pretty, why, sure you must know. My Molly is my only pal, she knows I love her so. Why, there's my Molly, dear old girl. My Molly, my only girl. Under 21 now presents what will be a regular weekly feature to encourage new, young acting talent. Tonight we present 4 young players, Tony Lamond, Joy Elston, Bruce Friedman, and Bob Schroeder in a merry piece of nonsense, Phony Sound Studios. Our scene is a film studio, and the great producer is on the phone.
Hello? Sorry, I can't give you any more time. I'll have to hang up. But that's my advice, and if you have any more sense, you'll take it. You'd think that fellow Alfred Hitchcock had been in the business long enough to stop worrying me for advice. Now to business. Where's that script girl? I'm surrounded by nitwits.
Did you call for me, boss?
Where have you been?
Meeting your 2 new stars. Where'd you dig those 2 up? What price?
Well, you can't get Bogart and Bacall for 15 shillings a week and a share of the profits.
What profit?
Now, don't test with Tommy Trinder in Bitter Springs.
Now, what did you do in that?
I put the vinegar in the springs to keep them bitter.
Honestly, boss, when did you have anything to do with a good picture?
What about the Snake Pit?
What did you play? The title role?
And Spring in Park Lane. Whose idea was it to put a pin under Michael Wilding and get more spring into it?
Yours, boss.
And who was it?
Wait. And who was it about the Flinders Street subway?
It was the great idea. The Underlanders. Enough! I want action. Where are the 2 new stars?
I'll get them. Hey, come right in.
Oh, Mr. Shanks, are you really...
Yeah, guest producer.
Quiet. Where's your leading man, Miss Fender?
Here, Chuck Johnson.
Is your name Chuck Johnson?
Yeah, like Van Johnson, only bigger and better.
Truck? Van? What is this? What films have you been in?
Remember Red Shoes?
Yes, of course. Enough of this. You know your part. You are in love. In the moonlight on the banks of the beautiful Yarra. Now give me romance. Cameras, lights, action.
Oh, my love, isn't it romantic? The moon and the wind on the waters of the river.
Yes, Belinda. The wind on the Yarra. A pong to remember.
Have you something to say to me, Ralph, my sweet?
Yes, my treasure. I have something to say. I have an offer to make, which I pray you will accept. It concerns something sweet and lovely, and oh, so desirable.
Yes, say it. Say it.
Have a cool minute.
Yes, any place, any time. It's a popular phrase. Have a cool mint. For cool mints certainly are the friendly sweet. Whether you're under 21 or over, that crisp, crunchy peppermint and nougat flavor can't fail to please you. Ask for cool mints anywhere in the friendly green and white packet 4pence. Family tins, 1 and 6. That's right, have a cool mint.
Seasoned performer at 14 is saxophonist Alan Eaton. Here's Alan presenting for under 21 a smooth arrangement of melody by Fritz Kreisler. Thank you, Alan Eaton. Now, folks, we present another featurette which will form a part of our Under 21 show every week. It is Youth of the Week. In this spot, we present an outstanding youngster whose doings should be known to all to prove that those under 21 can be and are worthy citizens of this country. Tonight, we present Les McEwen. Now, Les, I want you to tell the folks just how you make a living.
Anybody who passes the CTA anytime knows me. I sell papers there.
And just why did you take on that job, Les?
Well, I come from a working class family and I didn't want to be a burden to my mum and dad. So I sold papers after school.
Good for you. And had you any idea of what you'd do with the money apart from helping the family?
Yes, I knew that opportunities come a fellow's way if he had a few pounds saved up, and I wanted to be prepared.
And what opportunity came your way, Les?
Well, a couple of years back, the landlord who owned the house we lived in died and left it to his daughters. We found it was to be sold, and since we might have to move out, we asked for the first option to buy it.
And what happened then?
We didn't have anything like enough money. I counted all I had, added a few pounds my grandfather had, but we were still about £100 short.
And you carried through these negotiations about the house yourself?
Yes,
And how old were you then, Les?
15.
And what happened?
I went to my employer, Mr. Murray Callagher, and told him the position, and I asked him would he trust me with the loan of £100.
At 15? Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
Now, Les, you were 15, you say. Well, tell us in your own words, just how did this venture of yours turn out?
Mr. Callagher lent me the money with no interest. I bought the house, and since then it's been paid off. Mum owns it outright now, and she's tickled to death. And also I've paid the £100 back to Mr. Callagher, and I'm saving for a car to take the family to the bush in the weekends, and very shortly I'll have the car too.
At 15, he organised the loan, bought a house for his mother, paid it off, repaid the loan, and now he's after a car. Do you wonder that we present newspaper boy Les McEwen as the Youth of the Week?
And as we near the close of the first edition of Under 21, Griffith Sweets, makers of Cool Mints, sincerely hope you've enjoyed the efforts of these stars of tomorrow to entertain you. Remember, for a sweet that is entertaining, enjoyable at all times, have a Cool Mint. Cool Mints certainly are the sweets that appeal to all ages. That delightful peppermint and nougat flavor just can't fail to please. Buy Cool Mints anywhere. Look for that friendly green and white packet 4p. Economical family-sized tins are 1 and 6. So pep up the friendly way. Have a Cool Mint.
The Teenagers Choir, 8 voices in harmony, sing under the direction of Tom Davidson, Irving Berlin's Easter Parade. We are so young in heart, so please be kind. We know that youth so eager can be so blind. But thank you for listening. We hope that we will find next week, same time, same station, you'll keep us well in mind. Clemency production is presented from 3UZ every Wednesday night at 8:30 by Griffith Sweets, the makers of Cool Mints. That's right,